I'm O.W. Root, and this is Pleasant Peninsula. Is it Pleasant Peninsula? I'm not so sure about that. It might be more like Pizza Oven Peninsula, Kiln Peninsula, Scorched Earth Peninsula. We are melting peninsula. Yes, Michigan is under attack from the evil, wicked sun. It is burning us all up. It is making us sweat profusely, and it is scorching our beautiful peninsula. It used to be Pleasant Peninsula. We are melting up north. The Root family is melting. We usually have beautiful, pleasant summers up north. This is why people come from the southeast side of the state and beyond to the other scorched nether regions of the United States. They come to the beautiful northern Michigan to experience temperatures that are 10 to 15 degrees cooler. But we have not experienced that. Not for the past week. We are getting burned alive, and we are like the rest of, I guess, the nation right now. And that means that the air conditioners are coming out. Yes, northern Michiganders, we usually do not use air conditioners. We just don't need them. You know, you need them if you live down the southeast side of the state. It's cranking 90 all the time. Yeah, you can need that thing. Up here, we do not need it. And we like to have our windows open and just keep the screens in and let that cool breeze, that lovely little breeze, lilt in. And even if it's a little warmer, you can wear a nice light shirt, madras, poplin, seersucker linen, and it's just fine. But now we have had to bust out the air conditioners. And it is an appropriate time to bust out the air conditioners. I will admit that. You know, I've written about air conditioner abuse and overuse in the past. And I think we all know what air conditioning overuse is. And it's kind of annoying, actually. I mean, I don't think you actually like it. Have you ever had that thing where, I assume you have, I mean, all of us have. It's like, let's say 73 degrees. It's like a nice, normal sort of summer day. It's nice, really pleasant weather, maybe a little warmer, whatever. And you walk into a store, and the store it's like 55 degrees in there. I mean, yeah, it's not 55, but it's pretty darn cold. I mean, they've got that AC cranked. And there's something cool about it, I guess, that it's so cool and fresh. I mean, I guess it's a modern marvel, for sure. AC is a modern marvel. But it's a little disorienting, and I can imagine that if you worked in a store like that, like all the time, like 5 days a week, you'd be wearing a sweatshirt inside a lot of those times. And what a weird way to spend the summer. It just doesn't feel right. And again, I'm not talking about Tucson, Arizona, where it's 155 degrees or whatever. I'm talking about just like a normal sort of day. I mean, that is kind of weird. That's sort of air conditioner overuse and abuse. Or let's say you even crank the AC all the time in your apartment or your house, and it's, again, only like 75 degrees, and you're wearing a sweater inside. I mean, it's kind of weird. You know, I'm not for that in our pleasant area of northern Michigan, where we can, as I said, just leave our windows open and enjoy the beautiful breeze sort of lilting in to our beautiful homes, or at least just our homes. Mine tends to be more messy rather than beautiful these days with 3 kids. But we have had to bust out the air conditioning units, and we are not alone. And we do not have them in our house. I mean, for the past few years, we have not used an AC unit at all. And we do not have central air, but we do have a grand collection, a fleet of air conditioning units in our basement. When my wife's parents got central air some years back, they lived downstate a little bit, they gave us these window units that they've got. And they're older, not super old, not as old as the one I bought when I was in high school from a yard sale, which was from the 80s, and it was about 150 pounds. And my parents claimed that it ran our electricity bill up. Not that old, but a little older. I think they got a bunch of scratches on the outside from raccoons trying to rip them or something. Not great, but they get the job done. And over the past week, we have hauled those up from the basement, brought them back from the caves, the corner of the basement where they haven't seen the light of day for a few years, and we've installed them in our house. We have 3 of them, and every bedroom has a window unit right now, currently, and it is like we have AC, or central air. We call it central air. It's, I guess, the trashiest form of central air, because all of the bedrooms have one, and it just looks ridiculous. But I'm not gonna lie, it feels good. It feels good. When you're hot, I go in front of that, that thing's cranking. I mean, I don't even have to turn it on, it's cranking. You go, I stand in front of that AC. For some reason, it smells good. Why does the AC smell good? I don't know, but it does a little. Maybe it's because we don't use it all the time, or more summers. But yeah, it feels good to feel that ice box. You know, you walk into that bedroom, we got fans blowing all the air around too. We got fans going from one bedroom out to the living room, all this. I mean, we got central air in our house right now. No, it's not really central air. Yes, it's cobbled together through a through a whole, I don't know, labyrinth or a whole maze of window units, but it's cranking. We call it our central air. Yeah, and we'll take them out in a couple of weeks when the heat dies down. But until then, let the air flow. The latest sunset in the entire Eastern time zone happens in Michigan. Do you know that? Well, you know now. And I was there for it. Let's roll that video. The latest sunset in the Eastern time zone is seen in Carp Lake Township in the northwestern UP. It's the most western point in the Eastern time zone, the last stop before the clocks change. There's a population of 582 with a density of just 3.21 people per square mile. There's white pine in Silver City, a lot of woods, a lot of mosquitoes, and a lot of quiet. This last stop before Central Time hangs far over Wisconsin and Illinois. There are 18 hours of daylight in June. The sun set at 9:56 p.m. on June 23, 2026 in Silver City. The Porcupine Mountains sloping up to the west, the strong waves from Superior crashing onto the rocky shore with a predictable rhythm. A few dribbles of rain from above, the sky painted as a gift for us at the latest sunset of the year. 9:56 p.m. Sun sets at 9:56 p.m. It's the latest one, Carp Lake Township, in that last week in June. You know, time zones are a really interesting thing. That sounds like a ridiculous thing to say. How can time zones be an interesting thing? Well, they actually kind of are. China has one time zone. That's bizarre, right? One time zone for that huge country. It's insane. In America, we are a more sane country. So we have multiple time zones. And the time zone has to stop and start somewhere. The line has to be somewhere. In Michigan, it's not actually at Wisconsin. The time doesn't change at the Wisconsin border when it comes to the UP. The counties right along Wisconsin, the ones that actually border Wisconsin, are on Central Time. Those are Central Time. But then the ones above it are still on Eastern Time. And that's where Carp Lake Township is. It's that farthest west and northernmost westerly township, Silver City being that farthest west town, if you want to call it a town. It's really just a collection of houses, but we can call it a town for the sake of this. It's civilization, at least. That is that farthest west point. So it's the latest sunset, 9:56 p.m. And if you look at a map, take out a map and look at this. Look at how far over that is over Wisconsin and Illinois. I mean, there are places, there are a bunch, just a ton of places to the east of Carp Lake Township that are on Central Time. This is on Eastern Time. These are on a Central Time. Or this is on Eastern Time. This is on Central Time. It's just, there's like a ton over there. And so it's such a fascinating thing. I mean, you can go Carp Lake Township, you go like 50 miles, you go straight down, and then you go 50 miles east, and you're going to be on Central Time. But that's on Eastern Time. Fascinating. It's so fascinating, so weird. Just a little quirk, because you got to draw the line somewhere. And as for the actual land up there is beautiful. That area of the UP is one that I have not been to a bunch. I've been a lot on the northern coast of Lake Michigan, along US 2, Manistee, Buffet, Escanaba, right around there. I've been a lot up into the eastern side, Sault Ste. Marie, Grand Marais, and then central, Marquette, and then up to the Keweenaw. I've been all over the Keweenaw. But that area, that northwestern corner, once you get over there, it's so far from the Lower Peninsula. When I was out there, it took us a while to get out there. I was just thinking, this is so far. I mean, it's far from where I'm coming from, Little Traverse Bay. And then you imagine it for Detroit area. What I'd be interested in are the actual tourists, the people who visit. Because the people who visit tend to, they're hikers. People who want to go to the Porcupine Mountains are right up there. That view of the Porcupine Mountains as the sun is setting is just gorgeous. I mean, watching that sunset was extremely special. Not just because it's the latest one, not just the fact of that, but that place, those waves, and I mean, you almost might think it sounds weird to say tropical, but I mean, it's just the sloping up, the way the sky looked. It's just, I think many people wouldn't assume that's like Superior. But that area is so gorgeous, so beautiful. And the people who come up hike Porcupine Mountains and all that sort of stuff, real outdoorsy types. Not many. I mean, not many come, but the people who do come, I wonder if there are people, I would like to see a statistic on this. I don't know if there is even a way to get a statistic on this, but I wouldn't be surprised if they tend to be people from Wisconsin and Minnesota. And I did see quite a few Wisconsin plates and quite a few Minnesota plates. Obviously, you can't tell with Michigan plates because they could just be from there or from the mainland, southeast side of the state. But I wouldn't be surprised if not that many people from the lower peninsula really make it all the way out there. I would not be surprised if you do see more visitors from Minnesota and Wisconsin, because it is so far west. I mean, I know for a lot of our viewers, you might not spend as much time in the UP as I do, because it's just so far away. Even St. Ignace is far away from most of our viewers. And then you go all the way out there at Carp Lake Township, Silver City, Ontonagon, Ironwood. It's so far. It's a fascinating part of Michigan. Beautiful, beautiful place. If you ever get a chance to go, I highly suggest it. And if you really want to do something special, go in that last week of June and watch the latest sunset from Silver City. Unreal. I'm OW Root from Michigan Enjoyer.